Have you ever Googled a note diagram of the fretboard and found this? Well, you won't need these anymore, because today I'll share a couple of ways on how to approach learning the notes on the fretboard without torturing yourself with those massive diagrams. Start with bottom strings. By knowing where the notes are on the 6th string, we can find all the chords that have the root on the 6th string. So let's start with an open string, E. If we fret the 1st fret, then we get ourselves an F. And some of you might already be playing an F major chord, which will have this note right here, which is the root note. Let's jump 2 half steps this time. So 1, 2, so that's a 3rd fret. And that's a G note. If you played an open G major chord before, you will recognize that this note is in that chord. Let's go further up 2 half steps. So from G, so this is a 5th fret now, and this is exactly the same note as an open 5th string, or otherwise we call it an A string. That's exactly the same note, so we have our A note on the 5th fret of the 6th string. Let's go by 2 half steps up again. 1, 2, we got a B. If we go 1 step higher to the 8th fret, now we have a C note. Then we jump 2 frets again, so from 8th to 10. That's your D note, same note as an open 4th string. Open 4th or open D string. And if we finish it on the 12th fret, another 2 frets up, we have again our E note. So this is a great starting point, but if you get confused or lost, make sure you remember at least a few reference notes so you can find the ones you need. Let's say we know the E and F, which is open and 1st fret. Our next reference point could be an A note, which is the same as the 5th string, and D note, which is our open 4th or D string. Tip number 2, refer to marking or dots on the fretboard. Just by knowing what notes are on the 3rd fret, usually the 1st dot, 5th fret, 2nd dot, 7th fret, 3rd dot, 9th fret, 4th dot, and 12th fret, the double dot, will help you immensely when finding notes. So like we can actually go over the same notes again. So just knowing that the G note is on the 1st dot, we can remember that the B note is where the 3rd dot is, or that the C sharp note is actually where your 4th dot is. And obviously remember that the double dot means an octave, which means it's the same note, just 12 semitones higher than the original one. Finding octaves and unisons on different strings will help you unlock the fretboard as well. So 6th string and 1st string has the same note on the same fret, just 2 octaves apart. So if we were to play an open E string, a low E string, and a high E string, that's exactly the same note. Same goes wherever we go with that 6th string, whether it's the 5th fret on the 6th string and 5th fret on the 1st string. Also, you can find an octave by going 2 strings down and 2 frets up from the original note. So if our note is, let's say A, we go 2 strings down, so 1, 2, and then 2 frets up, that's an A again. So if we were to play the D note on the 5th string, 5th fret, its octave will be again 2 strings down, 2 frets up. For the strings 4 and 3, the rules are a tiny bit different. So let's say we have a note on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is our E note. So we go down by 2 strings as before, and we go 3 frets up. That distance is your octave. Same goes for the 3rd string. we have our A note on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. To get one that's an octave higher, we need to go on the 1st string, 5th fret. So another good tip is breaking down the chords and identifying the notes of each chord shape that you know. So if you take any open chord, like C, try to name all the notes that you're playing in that chord. So let's start from the 5th string. That's our C. How do we figure it out? Our open string is A. If we go A, B flat, B, C, that's our C. Then we have an E note on the 4th string. So again, we can just check by knowing open strings. We're going 2 frets higher, and we have our E note going from D. Then the next string is open, which is the 3rd string. Obviously that's going to be a G note. Then the 2nd string is going to be a C note, because our open 2nd string is B. We're just going 1 fret higher, and we get our C note. And the last string is open again, 1st string. So that's an E note. So breaking down chords like that, any chord that you know, it can be an open chord, it can be a bar chord, and just identifying each note in the chord will definitely help you unlock the fretboard. Also, knowing intervals of each chord shape helps a lot as well. So this last tip is more when you're a bit more comfortable with some of the notes on the fretboard, as well as knowing a couple of scales or arpeggios. Even if you know just one scale, that's already a good start. So what you want to do is naming each note of the scale as you play it. So we will start on the 8th fret of the 6th string, because that's where our C note is. And let's just go up the scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Unfortunately, knowing just the notes themselves might not be as helpful at the beginning, but if you know the formula for the major scale, that's going to save you. So if we start on our 1st note, which is C, and we follow the formula whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, that it makes it a bit easier. So we have C here, we need to go whole step, which is a D note now, 2nd degree. Then we go another whole, which is this note here, or right here on the 7th fret, which is our E note. Then we need to go half step, that's an F, 4th degree, 5th, which is another whole step, which is a note G, another whole step, going to the A note on the 4th string, on the 7th fret, another whole step going to the B note on the 9th fret of the 4th string, and finishing off with a half step up on the C. Let's play the scale now on the 5th string. So C here, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And you can do that with any scale, really. It can be a minor pentatonic scale, it can be a minor scale, or any mode of the major scale that you know. So I hope that these tips will help you make the learning of the fretboard a bit more organized and a bit more systematic. Take your time with this, start with the 6th string, because then you'll have the 1st string covered, and also you'll be able to find your bar chords and power chords easier, and just build from there. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.